Let's play drone effects. Hello music creators, Mike here, and in this video we will check out an amazing texture and ambience sound design tool called Drone Effects by UVI. You could make sounds like this for your music. Or this. Or perhaps like this. So let's play Drone by UVI, the FX and sound design, texture and atmosphere designer. So the first thing is that you can actually choose to have the plugin loaded in stereo, quad or full 5.1 surround. In most cases for music composition you will go with stereo, and then it loads up this beautiful interface. So the first thing you can immediately see here is that it's divided between source 1 and source 2, which you can turn on and off like this. So if I play something now, obviously no sound. So it's a blend between X and Y sources 1 and 2. And that you can see that from the XY pad here. But it's not only the blend between the sources. So if I go from this to this, obviously you can automate any parameter basically by right-clicking and setting the host automation like this. But you also have this axis here, which is FX mix. Alright? So both of those work in tandem. Now, what is really cool is that you have a very nice preset library, as basically all UVI plugins and libraries I have. I love when sample libraries or instruments are divided into good categories like this. A good structure is very important when you want to find sounds. So you can go for something dark and gritty. Let's do Haunted Cave. And as you can see, you already have the modulation right here. You can turn that modulation off here. It still has lots of movement in the sound because it's made up that way. And as you can see, it's based on this one, and you can see the preset library per source. So you have acoustic sources, digital, organic, and synthetic for both of these. So you can actually go in and shift one of these. So let's say you're happy with that, but you want to shift this to something else. Let's say guitar ebow. I just love these kinds of sounds you can use not only for underscores and tension type music compositions, but as atmospheric background in many styles, action, everything you can use this for. So it has a nice preset library overall, and it has it divided per source. But what I also love about this plugin and most UVI tools is that you have this main page. It's almost like Omnisphere. You have the main easy mode here on main, where you have the sources, the layers, the gain per source, the pitch per source, either in octaves or like this. Okay. And I haven't found a way, so you just click and drag here. I haven't found a way to do this. I mean, I guess you can just double click and then click in, but very rarely I want this decimal number, so I don't know why they included that, but I mean, you can if you want to do really dissonant things, so I guess that's good. But what's even more, after you get away from this main page, you can go into the editing page, and this is really powerful. I mean, here you can choose the layers, gain, pitch, and let's see, you have the XY modulation. And by the way, this you can, of course, automate. So you can automate it in your DAW. You can also use chaos, which basically is a chaos random mode, I guess, which is really good. Just include that modulation into the mix. And then you can use this to basically dial in what kind of quadrant or area. So you just want to have them up here. You can see modulation is now modulated in that area, let's say the upper right corner, and so on. So let's turn off that. And you also have swarm. So basically, this engine includes granular effect, granular synthesis. So swarm, I think, is part of that. So if you turn that on, I mean, I just made it riser basically by automating this. I haven't even tried that before, so I could see myself use this for creating risers by automating. Right-click this to the modulation wheel or any fader. So let's turn off that. You also have this feedback loop. Wow! I mean, you can try this on another sound. Let's do evolving scenes. This. Let's try this now. For scare retention music, dark music, I think this is my new favorite tool for those types of sounds. Now, in the editing page, which I really like, super powerful, you have, again, the sources. It's basically similar, but go more in depth compared to the main page, because here you can actually choose the layers again. You can also turn off the IRCAM grain, which is the granular engine. So you can see position, size, density variable here, or variation. Let's go to this layer only, turn off this. Without this, it sounds like this. Okay, let's turn on the IRCAM and try to, let's go an octave higher. Compared to, I don't know if it's actually turned off. If I just switch to the sample, I'm not sure actually if this is in the background all the time, because it looks like the settings are there. Oh yeah, now I heard it. So let's do something chaotic and then go back to the sample. So that you can experiment with. It's to me, granular synthesis is more about swarm chaos, but you can do a lot of cool effects with it. And then you have this swarm engine below. Voices, pitch. Okay. You even have the chaos engine here with you, which you can use for speed and depth for this effect here. Put it on high speed. Get a bit of a rhythm in there. And you can also use the blend mode, so the blending between the sources based on volume. So let's turn it on again. Let's turn off this. On volume. Or on low pass, high pass filter, and or high pass, low pass filter respectively. So and it's basically turning your filter up and down respectively on these layers. You also have the feedback loop here, but you have more variables on that. And of course, you have the attack setting here, and you have the release setting. You can also activate velocity to the filter or the envelope. Then we get into the FX page, and I call this FX on steroids because I haven't seen this much. I mean, most plugins and synths and stuff have some kind of filtering, EQ, delay, and reverb, but this is by far my favorite thing. They actually gives you access to the harmonics, the harmonic sequence or overtones for every sound. So I mean, if I go here and let's just focus on this sound, this here. You can go in and set per harmonic. So the first harmonics, which is of course the fundamental frequency. So let's start with the harmonics at the default position. I'll just play a low F here with both sources here. Now I can reduce the first harmonic and second harmonic and try to focus more on the higher shimmering harmonics, like this. So before and with on. You hear that sub bass is basically vanishing, the low end. You need to listen to headphones for this, but let's do it the opposite, like this, with the before and with. The sub bass, the bass harmonics is getting higher. And let's see, I think we want to increase the FX mix, so yeah, so the FX mix is how much all of this have an effect. So, okay, so if FX is on the top here, now if we go through the FX mix before, with, and now you can really, if you have that on max, the FX max here, you can now really dial in This is the same sound as this, with the harmonics from 1 to 8 here. So you can, I mean, you can shape it however you want. Let's try this one, before, after. Do you realize how powerful this is for sound design? I mean, it's incredible. Then you have distortion, 3 models, tube, tape, and fuzz. So without, with, decrease. Let's do the fuzz. And tape. With an in and out level. Then you have, of course, a classic filter, low pass, high pass, relatively easy equalizer, delay, which is tape delay, which I really love. Let's see, what's the time? Let's do 16th, 8th. Of course, as you can hear, these are long sounds, so you really want to find a pulse or something. But they also have this, a reverb, which is called Spark Verb, and they have another plugin called Spark Verb for like $150 alone. So it seems to me that you get the algorithm from Spark Verb in this. Otherwise, why would have they named it that? So that means you get this amazing reverb in it. You get a limiter. And if we continue here with the next page, so that was FX on steroids, especially if you use the FX mix on max. The modulation effects, so you have this gate effect here, which you can, let's see, turn on per layer. So if you have it turned off, now if I turn it on, and you can turn it on for the next layer as well. And here you can draw in whatever you want. And you can control the steps, the step speed. If it's too clicky, you can smooth it out with this. You can use depth here, but you can also have presets here. So you have the every single one here, or every other one with an accent of the first, like this. This is really good for pulses, in my opinion. Okay, so that's the gate. Now, then you can also set the pitch bend, so you can do, let's say, pitch bend on 1, so you can do things like this. So now I turn my pitch bend wheel down. And up again. For that really scary half-step tension feel. Then you have the mod wheel, which you can target to any of these here. And finally, you have some advanced settings, so some control of left and right and stereo width and panning, the polyphony, which could be nice to set on 1, so you can actually click poly to mono. Now you have glide time if you want to do, let's say we turn off this, if you want to turn on this to make it like a bass line. With the glide time. So you can actually do really cool organic sound design bases with this as well. And what's even further, it features MPE, what is called multi-polyphonic expression. So the Rolly C-board and all these cool new devices. So you can set the pitch, the timbre, all here on the different dimensions, aspects of an MPE hardware tool. I don't own one myself, so I can show you this, but not many plugins have this capability yet, so that's amazing. All in all, I have to say this is by far my most favorite tool for creating not only drones, but atmospheric sounds all in all, because of the powerful sound design capabilities. And it's so focused on these atmospheric textures. I have other ones. I've used to use Omnisphere a lot for this, but Omnisphere is it's not that focused. It can do everything, and as most instruments and tools, it's most often more efficient to use a tool like this that is focused on one particular aspect of sound. So textures, atmospheres, ambiences, drones, low pads, and even low sound design bases. So I can highly recommend this drone effects, and I will leave a link in the video description so you can learn more about this plugin on their website. Now choose which video you are going to watch next, or you can check out the amazing bonuses in the video description.